Man, every time I turn around, freaking more Bondo. What kind of Bondo is this? You know, it don't come off like the other stuff. They did something different. I don't know. Is it fiberglass? Fiberglass maybe? I got to get my grinder out. You know. Oh. I'm all right. Man, I'm glad you guys came by, but you know, some loose change in your pocket, a bell on your foot, I don't know, something. Man, Dallas, Brendan, Ralph, Zorba, Robert Jones. How you doing, buddy? I'm glad you guys come back. All you people back there I don't know, and just stick around. I know there's not a lot of room in here, but we'll get it figured out. In this video, we're gonna do something. It's what we've been doing. Anyhow, welcome back to Junks Automotive. Good to see you guys. Yep. More of this stuff. Oh, surprise. Bondo. Well, got her outside. It's like 60 degrees. And got her stripped down and brought it out here, doused it down with some lacquer thinner while the fire's going in the stove. You know. And then I went ahead and stripped this down and soaked it with lacquer thinner while the stove was going, so I kind of cut my chances in half. Okay. Well, the other back fender's done. It's got a little bit of Bondo and damage in it. They're actually not too bad. So what we're going to do today, Saturday, get all this DA'd down. All the parts we're using. DA them down real good because we're going to, and you notice, look, where I sandblasted that, rust. So I don't know if the sandblasting thing is it have its places obviously, but doing the whole body is just not gonna be a thing. So talking to a few experts, Mike Myers, Bill Andrews, some really good old friends. Bill Andrews I've known since I was 18 years old and hung out in the body shop with him, and a lot of other guys too, you know, and we always had a good time in the body shop. Always connected with the body guys better than other technicians, seems like. It could be for a reason. I should have learned stuff earlier and paid attention more. But like he told me, yeah, rust mort, all that rust mort it. Then he sends me the data sheet on it. Huh? Who'd have thunk it? Read the data sheet. Then he says, epoxy prime that thing. I'm like, Bill, put body work right on top of the epoxy primer as long as it's good and roughed up? He said, yep. That'll kill your rust. Well, so we'll pour 15, but like I said before, I'm a little nervous about doing that. I don't mind doing it in door jams and fender wells and stuff like that you really can't see. If something funny goes on, it's not a huge deal, especially on this car. We're making a nice driver for Ralph that's going to last. I don't want this, you know, rust coming back or the Bondo falling off 2 weeks later. Then it's a lot of work for having that happen. So let's see how quick I can get this stuff DA'd down and all cleaned up in preparation for all that. You're about to hear a song. I know, junk songs again. Zorba Rose. He plays banjo and fiddle and guitar, a little mandolin, and the Punk and Holler Boys, and I like Zorba a whole lot. He's got a beautiful family, super friendly, you know, and the guys, he thinks about things a little different and sees things different, I think. than most of us, so he's a special kind of guy. I really like him. He's a good friend. So we're gonna put a song up of his, and it's gonna go along with this.
Well, this morning the sun, it was shining so bright, and the birds, they were chirping. I said this morning the sun, it was shining so bright, and the birds, they were chirping. I found a way to think the fog that's surrounded me for so long. I found a way to think the fog that's surrounded me for so long. I found a way. That's surrounded me for so long. I found a way. That surrounded me for so long. I found a way. I found a way to fix the fog that surrounded me for so long. I found a way. On the road.
Yeah. So back fenders, well, it's almost done. Back of the car, all 40 grit, then 80 grit. It's coming pretty clean. We see stuff like this. This is the stuff I'm worried about. Anyhow, got my wire brush action going on just to get these little edges as good as I can get them. Your little wire wheels work really good for that pitted rust stuff, because you know, the little pointy things get bent one direction and you just reverse it, and all that dust comes flying out of them pores. So I'm trying to get all of it to look like this instead of like that. I'll show you more. Well, edges are pretty clean. Like, you can look really close and see the pits. It's the pits. That's what we're going to treat. And now I'm going to do this edge. This is where it mounts up. It's rusty, so we're going to go ahead and, you and I, we're going to go ahead and get this edge all cleaned up best we can. Dang it! Oh yeah. Ripped her right off. Could if you're not careful with them things. This edge all cleaned up. Now that I'm half deaf. I was half deaf to start with, means now I'm all the way deaf. Did all this edge all the way down through there. Did this edge, and you can see the rust down inside there. Got into my, cleaned up this edge down here a little bit. You know, we want this to be our 415 paint buffer zone, right? Got all that done. Well, the back of this car has been beat. It's been welded on, so we're gonna have to do some work back here just to give it some sturdiness, and we'll flatten some stuff out best we can before we go throwing the stuff to her. Yeah, stuff like this. Like I said, I can sandblast that. It might be just fine, but it seems like it takes, you know, it takes a lot of time when I can just put some rust mort on there, walk away from it, go do something else. All this, all that's got rust in it. Right there, from where the top sat on it. You know, yeah. I'm pretty happy with that though. Alright, take a little break. I've got 2 front fenders, a back fender to do. Just the metal stuff is what I'm going to rust mort and epoxy, at least through this first run. Everything will get epoxied. Even after all the body work's done, it'll get a coat of sealer, and then painted. So whoa. Well, that's a lot of DA grinding and sanding. Got her soaked down with some Rust-A-Morts. And I read the directions. Imagine that. Supposed to keep this stuff wet as long as possible and not let it dry. Go figure. Well, you know. Maybe this is a new look for Ralph's car. Shiny and silver and bare metal. I'd be alright with it. Just kidding. It's all shiny because I clear coated it. Okay, kidding again. Well, it's been a couple hours. All the rust appears to be converted, I guess. You guys seen me use this stuff before, so it's the usual thing, but what I'm going to do, I might even treat it again another time before we put the epoxy on it. But I'm going to get that fire shut off, get the fan shut off, get my spray gun, or not. I'm going to wipe it all down with some lacquer thinner. We'll try a spot first, kind of see what happens, and then get out of here. Well, I'm a little impressed. You know, we've done it before in previous videos, but now I just wiped it all down, wiped everything down with lacquer thinner, and if we end up having a little bit of a fuzz on it, you know, we'll let it dry, and then I'll scuff it up really good all over again before we put our sealer on it. Still have to do the seal rails on the front and the back, and a couple spots. I totally forgot my rockers, so we'll do that separate. This edge of the cowl here, this one's all done though. Why would I do this one and forget that one? I don't know. I'm old, I guess. But yeah, you know, been a long day. Well, I got started started late, but you know, not much of a video on this one friends, but boys and girls, that's just how it is sometimes. All right, we'll check with you in the morning. Good afternoon. It's Sunday. Get a couple things in. Make this a video. Let me show you what I'm up to. Went ahead and thought I'm going to go ahead and do inside the track. Like I said, I was going to anyway, but just go ahead and get the process started today. Got it cleaned up about as good as I can get it. I can probably work on it a little bit. Forward part of the cow, I got that cleaned up because I missed that last night. Trunk, railing here in it. The main thing is there's a big seal that goes in here, so you're never going to see none of it, any of it. Excuse my hillbilly language. But I want the paint to be able to go down in here and not, you know, have anything leach back, have some kind of rust or something come up in here, or, you know, and I, like I said, I could pour 15 all that and you're never going to see it. And I may anyway by the time we're done, but while we're doing this, let's go ahead and do that for heck's sake, right? Got one rocker done, cleaned up. You know, doubtful I'll get on the other side, but we got to have something to work on this week anyway, right? This coming week. Tomorrow's Monday. So I'll probably apply a little bit of, get this thing blown off and clean up, you know, go ahead and put some rust morty in there and get those done anyway. Get the those things. But, you know, man, this fender is going to be fun. Somebody tappy all over that thing. This one, it's actually pretty fair. Little dent right there. I think there's a little whammy down the bottom. You know, I mean, actually they're not in bad shape, but that's going to be from my intermediate body skills. That's going to take forever. That's another reason why get this in epoxy primer. I'm slow. Everybody talks about production. Well, you know, this and that. Well, this ain't production. This is me having a good time. And you know, as far as YouTube, you know, you guys might want me to hurry along and get things done, but that's just not how I roll in this kind of stuff, you know. Let me get some stuff in here and we'll check it out. All right. Got all those rust mort applied. Front two. Front part right there. Haven't messed with the rocker panels. We'll do that during the week. I'm kind of tired of grinding and sanding, and old junk's back hurts. I got to work tomorrow. So I'm going to make it an easy day and use the rest of the day for editing. Now this rust mort, like on the outsides, I applied it, kept it wet for a couple hours, kept it wet, cleaned it, and I might even redo it again. Go with some Scotch-Brite over everything, reapply it for a couple hours, do it again, clean it, and then epoxy prime it all at once, all the shiny stuff. But in here, I don't care to let it dry because it needs more cleaning. So I'll take my wire brushy thing and clean it all out again and reapply it, let it dry a day. Clean it all out again, reapply it, let it go a day. Then the last time I'll let it go an hour as long as I have time for it. That's part of my problem. And then clean it out real good with some lacquer thinner right before we do everything. Did forget this, so did inside here. The other one was done last night. Did a little top of the edge reapply there. You know, so it's gonna get there. Yeah, we'll probably just let that stuff dry. And it'll work. You let it dry, it just leaves a film that you got to take off, I think. I'm probably wrong. I usually am. Anyhow. So, listen, boys and girls. Look at me, will you? I need to shave. I'm going to do that tonight. Shave. If you've made it this far in the video, man, I really appreciate you. Look at that upright base hanging on the wall. Isn't that cool? And it does help when you folks watch the whole video. And I know this isn't the most YouTube friendly content to restore a car. It's just not. You know, we get this to a certain point, get it all epoxy primed, get the body panels all on it, so that way I can start doing body work and lining up panels and all that. Kind of get it in one piece. Then I'd like to do something with that. Get the chassis and the frame in here, as long as we can figure out room. And then get the bottom of this done, get it back on the chassis, and start doing body work on a 57 4-door to 2-door conversion. You know, I'm wanting to get on that. I just need to get it so both these cars are in one piece and I can go back and forth, right? That might make it a little more interesting for you guys that put up with me so well, right? So anyway, I think we're at 737 subscribers. Cool, right? So the activity is going to start going down, only because I know when I watch videos like this, you know, I'm kind of like, fast forward, you know. But I can't help it. I got to do what I got to do. Got to get her done. This is Ralph's deal. We want to get her done. So I'll tell you what, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Please share. Please like. Leave me a comment down there. All right? I like the comments. It's always good information. A lot of times it's funny. Sometimes I'm like, what? Okay, you know, right on. Anyhow, it's good to see you guys again this week. We'll hang out again next week for a little bit and hopefully get some epoxy primer on this thing. Junk out. Yep. Long way to go.
Thanks for watching Junk Automotive.